Good morning, I'm Ashley and this is the Rural Companion. In today's video, I had planned on bringing you along for the first couple days of my annual 21-day sugar detox. Now, I think I've explained that in other videos in the past, and I will find those and link them up here and then also in the show notes below so I don't have to go back through that. But basically, our family does try to do 1 to 2 sugar detoxes each year to give our bodies a break from trying to process all of the processed foods, the sugars, and even though we are really mindful of how much sugar that we eat on a regular basis or like on a daily basis, it still creeps in. And so it's just nice to take a break every now and then to just give our bodies that chance to recover, rest, things like that. But yesterday morning, I woke up with just a weird scratchy feeling in my throat. And this morning it's still there. As you can tell, my voice is a little scratchier than normal. I don't have any other symptoms. I just kind of feel a little run down, and it is so mild that probably if I wasn't, I guess, as in tune with what's going on in my body, I probably wouldn't have even noticed it. Maybe just thought I was a little bit more tired than normal, but it is just a little bit scratchy and then kind of maybe a little bit more congested or full feeling in my sinus region. Now, we have had a lot of weather shifts, and that is typical of this time of year in Oklahoma. So it could just be a very early start of allergies, which I really doubt. But at this time of year, I think the running joke is everybody has allergies because everybody has colds and the flu and whatnot. So while I still plan on starting my sugar detox today, I am doing a few slight tweaks, and I just wanted to share that before I get started showing you the food. Now, the very first thing I do when I'm not feeling well is use immune strength. I put a drop or two of this with some carrier oil. I roll it or run it behind my ears, down my throat, on my lymph nodes right here, and then my back, the back of my neck. Depending on how sick, I guess, we are, I will, like, if the kids are really sick, I'll run it all the way down the spine, on the bottoms of the feet. We'll run it through a diffuser. I'll probably put it in a diffuser here in a moment, just to give everybody a fighting chance. Hopefully I'm not going to share anything. Another thing that I will be doing, this is not necessarily a sugar detox no-no, but it's also, I mean, during the sugar detox, you're trying to eliminate a lot of the extras that you put into your body. So I would probably not be using as many supplements during that time. Just stick with my basic whole foods daily vitamin. But I am going to be doing a several dose regimen of my liposomal vitamin C, in addition to the eating incredibly healthy for the next several days, just to see if I can eliminate this. The one other thing I'm going to be doing that's not necessarily at all sugar detox approved is I'm going to continue using my greens. I do this each day in the morning. It gives me a very great boost of energy. Now, it is no sugar added. It's gluten-free. It's all the great things, but it does use fruit extracts and blends. So that part of it is not actually approved on the sugar detox food list. You actually cut out most fruits and then your sweeter, starchier veggies. But I'm going to continue this the next day or two just because I need all the nutritional benefits that I can get right now. So right now I'm gonna start with my greens. I just use 1 scoop of this. Add water, about 8 ounces, several ice cubes in a mason jar with a lid, and shake. You could also use a blender ball designed for protein powders and other powder drinks. For breakfast this day, I started by making my usual go-to quick breakfast, which is sauteed greens and several fried eggs. This one I make many days of the week, and it is just that simple. Of course, you can tweak it to use what you have on hand, depending on what greens variety and the number of eggs that you would prefer. For lunch, I cut up an avocado and smashed that in a bowl along with a little bit of lemon juice and added a can of tuna. This dish is full of healthy fats as well as very high protein from the tuna. Of course, I served it alongside several chopped up veggies, radishes, celery. This makes for a really quick and delicious lunch. For my afternoon pick-me-up, I started by frothing about a quarter cup of milk in my electric milk frother, and I made a double shot of espresso. While the coffee was brewing, I also steeped a chai tea bag in the cup. This made for just a different flavor concept with the espresso. Then I topped that with the steamed milk, gave it a stir. Of course, I did not sweeten it, and enjoyed this delicious, unsweet, dirty chai latte. For dinner, I started by mixing together 2 packages of ground beef along with some salt and pepper and made very simple burger patties and roasted cauliflower. This one lasted us for, I think it was 2 nights plus maybe a lunch or so, and just was a really quick and easy dinner. Most of our meals during the week are quick and easy because we just are going from one activity to another or have a lot of things going on. For the third day, I made a breakfast muffin, which consisted of steamed broccoli, chopped green onions, and lots of eggs. I started by steaming the broccoli, and then when this was done, I filled muffin cups with about a heaping tablespoon of the chopped broccoli. I sprinkled maybe a half teaspoon of green onions on top before filling each muffin cup with the egg mixture. I did add some basil and oregano to the eggs along with a sprinkle of salt and pepper. Then I baked these for about 20 minutes in the oven, and they turned out to be a really quick grab and go breakfast. To go alongside the broccoli breakfast muffins, I did make the apple pie smoothie that is a recipe in the 21 DSD cookbook. Now, the recipe called for a cup of water, and while I did add that, in hindsight, I wish I didn't. It just made the smoothie too thin, and I think moving forward, we would probably decrease the water and increase the apple, or maybe add a banana along with the apple. The texture was just kind of gritty because of the green apple. So it wasn't our favorite recipe. We had never made it before, so I just wanted to give it a try. I think it rounded out our breakfast meal nicely and did keep us full for the entire morning. Just probably wasn't our favorite, and we probably won't make it again. So today I'm making a twist on egg salad with the smashed avocado and several diced boiled eggs. I did add a squirt of Dijon mustard, a sprinkle of salt and pepper, and served this alongside mini sweet peppers, and this was just really a quick, delicious lunch, and I think I'll probably keep this around in my lunch rotation. Later that afternoon, I made a coconut milk latte. This I started by blending coconut milk along with cinnamon and vanilla, and then I topped this with a double shot of espresso. Now I'm making a batch of juice in the blender. I started with a very small knob of ginger, 4 large carrots, 2 celery sticks, and a half of a grapefruit. To make juice in your blender, you just add extra water prior to blending, and then you do need to strain. This first day that I made the juice, I did not have a proper straining cloth, so I was just using a smaller one that I've used on mason jars before to sprout beans. The next day, I did make a very simple straining bag out of fabric that I had in my stash, and that worked out much easier. Here I am, it is day 1000, I don't even know, of my sugar detox. I am using this book, which is I think the first book by Diane Sanfilippo, the 21-day sugar detox, and I am going to be making the mustard glazed chicken. I'm going to be doing legs instead of thighs because that's what I have, and that's how much time I have to cook tonight. So I'm going to start by melting some butter. It says also coconut oil if you are sensitive to butter, and we're not, so we're going to do butter. Mustard, so I've got Dijon mustard. It does say to make sure that you check out the list of recommended brands. This one is not probably on the list of recommended brands, but it's what I have in my fridge, and it does in fact have 0 sugars, and I double checked, triple checked before I bought it a while back, because I just typically try to buy things without added sugars, just as a rule of thumb, because I'm not a fan of the sugars that are added into foods that don't need to be sweetened, but also because unless it does specifically say organic or a specific type of sugar that I do enjoy consuming, like throughout the year, the sugar that is added is typically your beet sugar, which is not really good for you at all ever anyway. So we'll do some of that. Some dried sage. So I have some sage dried from last year from my garden, salt, pepper, and then our chicken will go in the oven on 425 for, this says 45 minutes because it's for the chicken thighs, so chicken legs are a little less, probably 20-25 minutes. I've already explained how I put together this chicken recipe. This was actually one of our favorite recipes that I made in the first couple nights of our sugar detox. So when I am on a sugar detox by myself, or my husband and I, the kids eat as they normally do throughout the day, and then of course whatever we're making for dinner is going to be sugar detox approved. They don't eat a ton of sugar throughout their days anyway, but some of their go-to snacks do have added sugars, a small amount, or fruit added sugars. To go alongside the chicken legs, I made a really simple Greek salad. This is a recipe in the book, and it's just kind of a go-to recipe that I do often when we are doing Mediterranean Monday, as this happened to be. You dice up 1 cucumber, a good handful of either small tomatoes, the grape size, or large tomatoes, and then you just scoop out the pulp. You mix this together with a quarter of a purple onion, finely chopped, olive oil, lemon juice, and your favorite seasonings. I typically use basil, oregano, salt and pepper, sometimes sage or thyme, depending on what I have on hand and or what flavors that I'm trying to go for. I did let this sit on the counter for about 30 minutes prior to serving dinner. The next day, we had a really busy day. We headed to the Capitol with our statewide homeschool group. So I made a really simple lunch for myself, a diced green apple in the bottom of a container, and then I topped that with cottage cheese, chia seeds, black seeds, and a good sprinkle of cinnamon. For a side snack, I had some nuts, some roasted pecans, and that took care of my hunger while we were out. And we got home around 2 that day. So once I did my afternoon workout, then I was able to eat a full lunch, which was leftovers from the chicken of the night before. Okay, dinner for this day, we were again really busy because we had been at the Capitol all day, came home and did our animal chores, and then we had to head back out for Civil Air Patrol. And I made a super simple, lazy meatloaf. The way I did this was smashed 2 packages of ground beef into a baking dish that had a piece of parchment in it, and I sprinkled salt on top. And that was literally all that I did. I did bake this until it was fully done, and I served it alongside steamed riced cauliflower and a side salad. We used a little bit of the leftover tomato and cucumber Greek mixture on top of the salad. This final recipe that I'm showing is a breakfast recipe. Most of our breakfasts are large batch cooked items that I use throughout the next several days. This one was the buffalo chicken egg muffins that is listed in the 21-day sugar detox book. I just made it in a large casserole to save myself the time of dealing with muffin liners. To make this, I sauteed ground chicken with some buffalo wing sauce, and then whisked together several eggs, a splash of milk, and then I layered this all in the casserole dish and baked for about 20 minutes. It was really good and lasted several days. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this and learned a few tips for your next 21-day sugar detox. If you've tried it before, leave a comment in the comment section below, or just be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And be sure to check back next week for another video that I will share of our homestead, and we have some exciting news. We will see you next time. Goodbye.